So this is a series of videos where I'm just rambling on about, where I was born right up to last week. And this video kind of starts where I had mentioned in the previous video where I had formed a partnership with the Times Mirror magazine group in New York to launch my show, Today's Homeowner, nationally. Now, originally my show was called Remodeling Today, and I have the national trademark on that, but I changed it to Today's Homeowner to align with the very, very popular magazine and website. Everything was going well, so they wanted to partner with a TV show. I was the one they selected, and they told me later why. They had a lot of pretty cool guys there they were talking with, but they chose me because I was the real deal. When they asked me, what do I consider myself? I told them, hey, I'm a remodeling contractor. I love repairing and improving homes. That's what I do. Other guys were saying, I'm an entertainer, I do this. They wanted someone genuine. It worked very, very well for me then and throughout the years. So we formed this partnership. We had about 103 stations. We launched. I traveled like crazy, went all over the place with the advertising editorial team as well as the sales folks. We kept building it and building it. I remember when we hit 150 markets, unbelievable, we're on our way. Then I got a phone call. I was in Detroit on a meeting there, and I got a phone call from the president of Times Mirror magazine informing me that they were being sold. The entire magazine division, everything there was being sold to AOL Time Warner. Well, what does that mean for me, I asked, of course. They said, we don't know. Because at the same time this was taking place, they were buying another brand. Had a lot of money back then, I guess, but they were buying This Old House. So the head guys at AOL Time Warner called me in there. They were over on Avenue of the Americas in New York, and called me in and said, hey, we have a possible spot for you as the host of This Old House. Because at that point Steve Thomas was moving out and they were looking for the new guy to be the head guy. So the originator of home improvement television and This Old House, Russ Marash, asked me to come visit one of the job sites they had down in West Palm Beach. So I took off down there not having a clue what we were doing or what we were going to do, other than the head guy said, Russ just wants to get to know you, pick your brain a little bit, see if you would fit in. So I went down, what the heck, Russ Marash, he's a darn legend. We sat down, the man drinks coffee though. I think I had 9 cups of coffee, and we talked about all kinds of things. And at the end of the day, we became very good friends, shook hands, he admired the entrepreneurial spirit that I had and the things that I was doing. And certainly I admired how he had such a northeastern steadfast manner that allowed him to really build quite an empire. So I went back a couple weeks later. I called the guys up in New York. I said, hey, well, how did it go? What do you think? Well, it's not going to work out for you to be the host of This Old House. And I said, well, what was it? I thought we got along pretty well. He goes, well, and I'll never forget this statement. He said, Russ says you have too strong of a personality for an ensemble cast. What the heck does that mean? Well, it means I know too much. He said he needed someone that was somewhat naive and was somewhat innocent about knowledge of home improvement and what's involved to facilitate all the questions of asking of Norm and Tommy and all the other great guys on This Old House. He said, you just know too much and we don't think you could do it. I go, well, there's a compliment in there somewhere. So what do I do now? So the guy that I was talking with, which I'm not going to say his name, but he was very, very instrumental in launching Martha Stewart's career, and he's a pretty good guy, tough New York businessman in a very, very large business, AOL Time Warner, and he told me that that I probably needed to take my old name back, and good luck. And I didn't know what to do there. To go back to Remodeling Today wouldn't be the end of the world, but I already had this name equity going. I had this momentum going. How was I going to tell all these stations I'm changing my name? I really wasn't sure what to do. And I walked out of that office, walked down on the Avenue of the Americas, and I thought, well, have no idea what to do right now. I almost had a numb feeling. You know, when I turned around, I went back in there with the old what do I have to lose kind of attitude. I knocked on the door. His assistant there, I think maybe thought I was a little upset. She said, "Are you okay, Danny?" I go, "Yeah, I'm fine, but I got a question I want to ask him." So I went in, I said, "Look, you guys don't see any value on today's homeowner name. You're going to take it, shut it down, take everything over to this old house. Let me license the name." I had no idea really what that meant. They said, "Well, no, we don't license names." I said, "Look, man, you left me in a jam here. You know, what am I going to do with going back to that name? I have all this momentum. I gave it my all for 3 years." He goes, "When are you leaving?" I said, "Well, I'm leaving tonight." He says, "Can you leave tomorrow?" And I go, "Yeah, I guess." So I'm in New York. I had probably $12 left on my credit card. I'm going to have a lot of fun tonight with $12 in New York. So I held on and I came back for a meeting at 9 o'clock. On the next video, I'll tell you about that interesting 9 o'clock meeting on the Avenue of the Americas with the Vice President of AOL, Time Warner.